hello, ladies and gentlemen. And hell no is what we have been informed about today. Apparently, hell no, you ain't going to be doping these damn tires in 2024 in super dirt late model racing, the number one motorsport in the world for those who haven't been keeping up with motorsports. Of course, winning races by 20 plus seconds means that you're up against a bunch of pansy ass rich kids that can't really drive, and that's why you're in the position that you are. But regardless, in super dirt late model racing, once again, the number one most competitive form of motorsports in the world, and I'm a sprint car guy saying this, it's just true. It's just true. We have had the world get flipped on its lid today with breaking news across the scene. This is insane. I mean, I haven't even been talking about late model racing here recently. I mean, we did the Ricky Thornton Jr. undisputed champion for 2023 belt at Gateway. We did all that stuff and kind of hinted on some things when Volusia was happening here and there, but we ain't really been paying attention to the late model scene too much. Just because all the drama's been on the sprint car scene because they don't even know what the hell they are over there. They can't identify with one side or the other. They are a little bit confused in their own right. But late models is just usually a clean green racing machine. And it's been, no issues, just great racing action, great fans, amazing economic situation between the sponsors, fans, drivers, series, and everything like that. But there is always that drama in the fender world in the tech shed. And the tech shed today has got a little interesting. So hitting the airwaves today, 3 drivers suspended, 2 drivers in one instance at a dirt car event, 1 driver at a World of Outlaw event. Of course, World of Outlaws and dirt car racing, World Racing Group. These are all one conglomerate. So all the drivers we're showing you here today are suspended from World of Outlaw and dirt car racing events. And before we get into this, according to the postings and the conglomerate meetings that's going on, that also is supposed to carry over to Lucas Oil late model racing. So these 3 guys, technically, if everybody does what they're supposed to, are suspended from late model racing in the big national divisions of pretty much everything. Lucas Oil, dirt car events. We're going to get into that just a little bit later because these are some big names. So anyway, Kyle Bronson, Devin Moran. Of course, we're over here in Australia. It's 9 a.m. I just woke up to all this great news. Devin Moran had a nice trip over here, but he ain't had a nice trip back. Failed tire test at the dirt car racing events. And then, of course, the bigger hitter, the defending series champion, Bobby Pierce, suspended by the World of Outlaws for failing a tire test. This is the defending World of Outlaws champion. Of course, I just mentioned the Ricky Thornton Jr. undisputed championship belt that we had him made and presented to him, and he walked out at Gateway with. At this point, is there any debate on who the best was from last year? Hold on, we're not even going to get into that because who knows? Who knows? We're going to talk about that just a little bit here in just a second. But anyway, we'll look into the Bobby Pierce story first so we can all kind of know what's happening here. This is on flowracing.com. So we're integrating everybody, World of Outlaw News, Flow Racing headlines, and their articles. So this is we're all being together. This is how it properly operates in the dirt world when we recognize that we're really up against NASCAR and Formula One and asphalt organizations. But anyways, World of Outlaws officials have issued a suspension and fine to late model driver Bobby Pierce for failing a tire test after competing in the World of Outlaws case construction equipment late model event on February 16th, 2024 at Volusia Speedway Park. A tire sample was taken. Let me just make sure it's all centered on the screen. It is. A tire sample was taken after completion of the feature at the event and sent to an independent laboratory for testing of chemical altering substances in the tire in a comparative analysis. The test revealed the tire did not match or conform to the benchmarks provided by Hoosier Tire Company. Additional analysis verified the primary laboratory findings. Due to the violation, Pierce has been disqualified from the event and fined in total $8,400, $8,400 USD for the record. $1,000 fine, $400 for the tire analysis fee, and a loss of $7,000 in prize money from that event. And suspended from all World Racing Group events for 30 days or the next 4 completed events in the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series schedule, whichever occurs last, yes. And the loss of 294 series and series owner and driver points for the 2024 series. This basically goes on to the fines and the penalties. It talks about all the suspension issues. There is an option to appeal this. The appeal has to be submitted within the next 7 days. So this was the Bobby Pierce one. The Kyle Bronson, Devin Moran one. Dirt late model drivers Kyle Bronson and Devin Moran have been fined and suspended by Dirt Car Racing following failure of a tire test at Volusia Speedway Park on February 13th. So this was the late model week at Volusia. The dirt car racing events that were not World Outlaw Point Series events happened earlier in the week on the 13th, and that's where these drivers failed their test. And they are now suspended, and they have to pay up the money. Bronson has been fined $3,400, less than Bronson. Once again, the $1,000 for the fine, the $400 for the test, and the $2,000 that he had in prize money. Moran's fine is the most of all three, and it looks like that's based on finishing position. That's how this is varying here, as he lost $9,000 in prize money from his finishing event. Now, of course, the suspension will last as long as forever you want it to be unless you pay the fine. So if these drivers choose to not pay this fine, this 1 month suspension or 4 races or however that goes, that's going to be gone forever. You're going to be gone forever if you don't choose to pay all this money back that you won. So the fine is almost just as important here as the suspension, but I'm sure the money they can find is not an issue. Before we comment on this, there was some comments from Brian Carter, and this is on the Dirt Vision Twitter, and I would suggest I have watched this, and I would suggest, please, whoever's doing this, get another green screen or just put up a damn make your own custom banner in the background. I don't know, but this green screen they're using is horrible. Anyways, here's what happened with the comments from World Racing Group CEO Brian Carter on the penalties to Bobby Pierce, Kyle Bronson, and Devin Moran. Let's hear it. If it'll load. Oh, the great old Australian internet. It's not going to allow it. It's not going to allow it. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This is why we are putting out recorded versions and are not live, because of the issues with the strength of the internet in Australia. There are some good areas, but let's blame this one on Elon Musk, because I'm pretty sure that we are in Starlink. Regardless, you have a situation here where Brian Carter, basically, you could see the quote up here. It says, "There's a lot of competitors expecting you to do the right thing." And obviously, this is a big hit, most would say, to the World Racing Group in the entire situation, because they just lost their star. They just lost their star. And you may think, well, where are they going to go? Once again, Lucas Oil had agreed that they were going to block all the people that fell certain technical violations, especially in the tire department. And then you may even be thinking, what about Hunt the Front, the Super Dirt Series Hunt the Front that's been skyrocketing? Everybody thinks maybe that's where Bobby Pierce and Bronson, of course, Bronson in the Florida area region, Devin Moran up in Ohio, maybe he's going to go to Hunt the Front. This is where everybody's going. Can't do that. This is a dirt car racing sanctioned series. So Hunt the Front is off the board. I see people saying that's why I feel I need to address that. But here's what I think, and we're going to close it out with this. I cannot believe that, and I talked to some people. There, as the click title said, outside of the Hunt the Front deal being a little bit of clickbait, because all you people are ready to jump on them nuts, But like I said, they just made a move on the Wizard. Now, and once again, suspended and fined the Rat. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, everybody out there in the dirt late model modified world and stock car world and even sprint car world a little bit too, you've heard of this tire demon. This tire demon that gets your tires prepped and cut and sliced up, right? It's pretty obvious what the demon does. But most everybody in this world has heard about this tire wizard that's out there. This old tire wizard that you take your tires to his palace and he puts the magic on them and sends them back out to a lot of big non-wing sprint car teams, late model teams, and a bunch of organizations out there. Now, when I say made a move on the Wizard, this kind of situation here where I hear about a tire getting popped, okay, wow, thank you, finally. Somebody very important speculated, is this the first time it was actually found to be illegal or the first time they're going to do something? Because when they know that they're going to do something, somebody's going to get dropped. And I think it might be this Wizard that's out there. Is this Wizard finally going to have to pay for all the magic that they have been dishing? Is one of these guys, the Bobby Pierce, the Kyle Bronson, the Devin Moran, going to rat out the situation at hand that's happening in the Midwest? That's happening in that perfect little, gasoline alley paradise. Or maybe out there on the stick side of town, too. Or maybe down the road, this side of town, that side of town, in your great big shed. Are we finally going to get one of these wizards called out? Because maybe these three guys all got hooked up with the same potion maker. And maybe it's time that these people in the dirt late model world and sprint car world and modified world and factory stock world, whatever world, maybe y'all just, or non-wing sprint car world, maybe y'all finally say, okay, if they're going to start popping us, well, we're going to take y'all down with our asses too. Instead of just sitting here and getting your whole career and reputation destroyed, how about you go ahead and expose the industry that is corrupting the racetrack that you had to do all these things to compete on? Because I have a feeling that Bobby Pierce's and Kyle Bronson's and Devin Moran's are very sincere individuals, and the crew chiefs and everyone who may have done the things to the cars and the drivers may not know, and I'm sure that notion is going to be coming out very soon. I'm sure that all these people are only doing these things because they know that everyone else is doing them. So who's doing it for them? I, personally, would not feel bad if Bobby Pierce or anybody within any of these three organizations come on out and tell the world who's actually doing it. We all know. We all kind of have an idea, right? We all know, kind of. Everybody is quiet. And I'm not saying I know, but I'm just saying. We all know. Go get them. Y'all purchase the services. If the rule makers are going to say, let's play by the rules, all right, now it's your turn to play the game too. It's your turn to expose why the rules are being bent. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, that's ethical code. You'll be a rat if you do that. The rat's the one pulling the strings and who has corrupted the racing action in surface and tires and industry in itself. That's the rat. You're just doing what you have to do to compete. So let's get rid of these sumbitches playing in the 50 Shades of Grey before your ass gets roasted black in front of everybody. And now y'all three are just the horrible people and individuals who, oh my God, cheaters. And y'all may be the ones who got caught and they didn't, but we all know why you're having to cheat. We all know why you're having to do what you're doing, because everybody else is too. So how about we start blaming the source instead of those who are on the other end of the receiving? You know, sometimes the source, the foundation of the house is the big fucking problem, not the windows. But anyway, that's what I got to say. Maybe the Wizards are gonna finally get called out. Let's hope. Let's cross our fingers that one of these three are going to say, okay, well, if I'm gonna get this shit, here's who's doing it. Here's what's happening, and maybe there'll be a plea deal with the World Racing Group. Maybe y'all got that option, a plea deal, just like 6ix9ine did. Oh, I'll tell you where the source is. I'll tell you what's going on, and get your sentence reduced. But are you going to be intimidated by the mobs, the wizards? Are you going to be intimidated to not say that? We'll see what happens. It's an interesting time. Maybe they'll all be quiet. Maybe they'll all be quiet to protect their daddy. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think. What do y'all think? Comment below. Where are these guys going to go? Are they going to be a Southern All-Star now? I don't know if that's got any relation. Where are these people going to go? They can't go to Comp Cams that Bobby just won at. You know, it's a dirt car thing now. Dirt car racing silently moved in on a lot of regional series. Lucas Oil, they can't go there if everybody upholds their paths and things that they said they would do. So they can't go there. Bobby Pierce is this huge, gigantic free agent now that's just running out there amok. If I'm Bobby Pierce, I'm throwing that wizard under the damn bus, and we're getting rid of the actual source of the problem. What do y'all think anyways? Leave a comment below. Like the video, share the video around. Sorry, I'm not just reading off of a teleprompter. I'm just talking to you. And as always, be sure to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We will catch you next time. We can ride high, we can ride low. We can ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we make